Hello everyone, Regina here with Herbal Teacup and Refuge One. And as promised, we're going to make the tail flags. You know that you need at least 2 yards of material. And I was telling you about the chiffon. I like chiffon. And as you know, with the 2 yards, when you go to the craft store, when they cut it long ways and they give it to you long ways. You see? So what we want to do is we want to take that and we want to open it up and we want to turn it the other way to where when we cut it, we'll have 2 cuts for our flag. So you want to turn it this way to where you can get your 2 flags. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do our cut. Now, and with this, make sure that your scissors are sharp because you're going to need for your scissors to be sharp because with chiffon, it seems very easy. It binds up on you and it's like a run in a stocking. So you want to make sure that you have very sharp scissors. Okay, I'm going to show you something too if your scissors are not sharp so that you can make sure that you have the sharp scissors that you need. This is a scissor sharpener. You can get it at any craft store. And you simply, you see that? You put your scissors in and you just cut. Just like that. And then you make sure that you can cut just the frayed. See how it's, see that rigid end? Just see if you can cut some of that off and how easy that comes off. Yeah, see that? And then make sure that your scissors are sharp. Now, I have to go ahead and reposition my material so that I can have the same cut for my 2 flags. So we're going to cut our material. We're going to line it up. And then we're going to go in for the cut for our tail flags. Okay guys, what I was going to do was I was going to go ahead and cut and then show you what it looked like, but I'm going to go ahead and position it and then I'm going to cut it so that you can see and hopefully you can also have the same experience to your cut that I am going to have with mine. So let's go ahead and line it up on our ironing board. Okay, we're going to do this together. All right. And just remember with this, now if you can see, you got the same, you see that? You see that? All right, and we're gonna start at this end and we're gonna just cut a moon, okay? Let me position this so that you can see it. And then we're going to start here. I hope that you can see this. And then we're just going to go around and down like a half of a moon. And there's a trick to closing up the ends. You're not going to have to sew anything at all. All right, bear with me while I adjust because you're going to have to adjust your material too. Just make sure where it's going at the end. So you have to come back up and reline it. That's fine. Just do it. You come back up and reline it. See? No big deal. You want your flags to be the same size. Okay? No problem. Same size. All right? You see? We still got the same proper cut. So we're going to go back in and we're going to finish our cut. All right? Because we want to have the same size flags. You don't want one of your flags bigger than the other, because you won't be happy with that. Or I wouldn't be happy with that. I want my flags to be the same size. All right. Hold on. My cat comes in one door and goes out the other. I'm going to let him out very quickly. All right, guys. Let's do this. Let's finish doing this. Okay, and then I usually stop. Once I get this half, then I go to the other half, and then I'll meet it with this. So let's do that. All right, guys. We have our cut. And we've made like a half moon. Now, hopefully you got your half moon cut. And then you're going to come back up. Make sure that everything is straight. And you got your seam and you got the same size everywhere. And then you're going to come back and then you're going to cut to separate along that line. So make sure you line it up properly. All right. Just go around it. Make sure that everything is lined up properly. Because we're going to go in for the separation cut. Take your time. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Just make sure that your cut is tight. Everything is even. And it looks even to me. So now we're going to go in for the separation. All right? And we're going to go here. And I'm just going to make sure that my scissors are sharp. And you're going to notice too that, yeah, it's going to be uneven. You're going to have an uneven cut. But when I show you how to go around it to take care of those edges, you're going to be quite amazed. And now we're going to go in for the cut. Okay? And separate them. All right? All right, excuse my back side. And we're going to come back in on this side now and cut it. Okay. All right. And now we have our two flags. All right. We have our two flags. Okay. We have our two flags. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, even. You see that cut right there where I cut it, and you see this piece right here? That's going to go away too. So let's do one at a time. Now, so we've got our two cuts, okay? Let's put one on the board because you're gonna need your whole board. And these are the pieces. See, so you don't really waste that much, of it, you know? But here is our finished flag. And you see how it's oval like? See that? Now we're gonna go in. You're gonna lay it down. And the good thing about this is that if you didn't get the cut that you want, you can always go back in for a more favorable cut for yourself. But that's what we'll do. Excuse me, my disappearing act. Now, and you're going to take your seam tape and you're going to line it up. And yes, it breaks very easily, but that's okay. Don't get discouraged. I'm going to start with this little bit. And I'm going to show you. So let's keep an eye on this. We've got our stick. And you're going to line it up. All right. We're going to take our seam tape. We're going to place it along the bottom side of our stick. All right. Bear with me. All right. Apologies. Now, and we're going to take it, and I want you to be able to see this because all we're going to do is we're going to just fold it now. All right. We're just going to fold it. And then we're going to start at the end. And make sure your stick does not exceed your material. I'm going to come in and we're going to go in for a tight iron. Make sure that your iron is set for synthetics or you will burn your material instantly. All right? So make sure that it's set properly. And you seal that. Oops. You sealed it. And if your iron touches the glue, the seam strip, just take it and run it across the edge of your ironing board, and then you're ready to go. Okay? And what we're going to do, we're going to do that going all the way down, all the way down, all the way down the material. And don't be afraid because you're going to be able to cut that off. All right? Once the heat hits it, it will break. But that's okay. You just go back in and reposition it. That's all. Let's reposition it. And we're going to do that all the way down our stick. All the way down our stick. Making sure that it's tight. All the way down. All right. All the way down. Ooh. One of the bells fell off of my tree. I keep my tree up year round. And there's a tell behind that. You know, I wasn't able to celebrate Christmas 2016, 2017 at all because I was sick, and we really was not sure if I was going to be there or be here for Christmas. This is new. This seam tape that I found, and it's obviously not working and it's making a liar out of me. So we're going to go through this to the thicker. It's a little bit more expensive, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to just take it and tear it in half, because obviously I missed the mark on that right there, and that's not good because I'm not able to show you properly what this should be doing, and I'm very disappointed in this, and I will be taking this back to the craft store because that's not working. You pay for what you get, and I tell you what, I obviously missed the mark on that one, so let's just reposition this. You see how that's sticking right away? Because it's supposed to stick right away. So be careful with the threaded ones. You want it to be thick. This is all they had. In some places it is sticking, but in a lot of places it is not, but it is supposed to stick on contact. And I'm very disappointed in that because it's making it really hard to show you what it should look like. But that's okay. We're gonna fix that. And if your glue sticks, just run it across your ironing board like that and it'll come off. And then we're gonna go back and finish this. All right, no problem. No problem at all. But yeah, I don't like this one. But see how thin that is? If you see how thin this is, that's thin versus this one, okay? This one's a little bit more expensive, but it's obviously worth it, as you can plainly see. And you can just tear it, you know, off, tear it in the middle, down the middle, till you get the proper portion that you want. And then we're gonna go in. We're the complete seal. All right. That's not good when you're trying to show something and your craft make a liar out of you. So, but that's okay. Praise Jesus. We're going to keep it moving and show you what it should look like regardless. Trial and error, guys. Trial and error. The beautiful thing is that we're going to have us a nice flag by the time we finish, and you can take that to the bank. So let's go ahead and finish this. Take it down, allowing yourself enough material to cover your stick. All right, no problem. No harm, no foul. No big deal. And once you get the hang of this, you'll see it's really quite fun. I'd like to say that it's even therapeutic. Lining up your seams, cutting the material, getting the proper cut. And then I'm going to show you how to come back. So now we're going to go back down slowly. And if you want to spray, if you have the kind of iron that you can spray and go, that's fine. But if you don't, that's fine too. Because the seam tape, if it's the proper seam tape will take care of itself. It's supposed to mend itself. And again, if you get any glue on your iron, just iron it off. No big deal. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is, we've got that sealed. All right? Look at that. That's sealed. And now we've got our tail. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back and we're going to seam our tail. All right? Same thing. please make sure that you get a decent seam tape, because as you can see, if you don't get the proper seam tape, you have difficulties. And I really don't like to have difficulties. You save money on doing these yourself, but if you don't get the proper material, shoot, by the time you end up spending money, you know, trying to save $1, you could have bought you one of those fancy flags, right? So let's do that little bit there. We do this little bit here. Do that little bit there. We're going to do this one. Okay? And now we're going to come back. And I want you to be able to see this, because now we're going for our tail. Make sure all of your seam tape is out of the way, because we don't want a lot of it on our iron. So let's make sure that it's out of the way. All right. And we're going to go back in for our ironing. I want you to be able to see that. Okay. Meet our stick. Here we go. All the way. Okay. Synthetic. Make sure that it's set on synthetic, because we don't want to burn our material. All right. And any that don't get sealed, that's okay. Iron it out, then come back with just a little piece of the tape and tuck it under there. No problem. Go back with your iron. It's that simple. There's no wrong way to do this. There really isn't. No wrong way to do it. All right. And as you can see, there you go. No wrong way to do it. Now, and here you go. We're not done yet. And I'm going to demonstrate to you what it looks like. But if you can see, and you see how raggedy those ends are right there? Well, we're going to come back now that you have what you desire. We're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to seal those ends. So let's secure our tip first of all. I will never buy that again. I'm going to show you what that is. Don't ever buy this. You know we have a branding issue, but if it looks like this, don't buy it. No matter if it's a penny, don't buy it. You want the close grained one. And it comes in different sizes as well. So you want to get that one in different sizes. Then we're going to go in for the sealing of our tip with our wooden stick. And I want you to be able to see this. Just put a little piece up in there. I'm going to come back with our iron. We're going to seal it tight. There you go. See? And then I'm going to show you how to put your feather on and everything. And we're going to get rid of all of this and you'll see. So bear with me while I get the other things that I need so that I can show you how to get rid of those edges. And you see, you look at that. Yes, that's raggedy, but let me show you what's going to happen with that. We just come back. It can be fixed. There's a little piece of the seam tape. Tuck it underneath there. And come back with your iron. That's simple. See? Let's come back with your iron. All right. Now we are done with the tape. Look for any pieces that did not take and simply go back over. Put your seam tape underneath. And just go back over it. Very simple. Just go back over it. Okay. If you get stuck, no problem. There you go. No problem. Get as close to your stick and pushing up with your iron. There's another place that we missed, or that I missed. Stick it in there. Hold your iron. And there you go. Whoa. Whoa. Well, you know that's not going anywhere. But even with that, you know, trial and error, it still looks pretty good. You know, it didn't get messed up. Like I said, there's no wrong way to do this. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to get rid of those funky edges. 1 second. All right, guys. You wonder how we're going to get rid of these raggedy edges. Well, first of all, we're going to see if this is going to line up the way that we want it. If not, you just come back and see, and now you've got the cut to where, you know, you can simply come back and go in for more cut if you want. Make it more rounded on the end. And you don't have to take off that much. All right. Now, see? Now, how are we going to get rid of those edges? Easy. Don't do this in front of a child. Please, whatever you do not do this in front of a child. Now, you see this right here? Watch this. You just hold it down and go around the edges, out. See how that seals it? You don't have to hold it there long, okay? You do not have to hold it there long. See that? And you go around the entire flag. All right? If you want to sew, that's fine, but I found that this is easier, it's quick. Just don't do it in front of kids because they think it's neat. And the next thing you know it, they'll be trying to do this with all kinds of things. And you come home and you're kidless and homeless. That would be bad. But you see how we can go around? You see that? And go down. And look, do you see how choppy that looks? Look how choppy that is. And then watch what the fire does. Actually give you a pretty solid edge. See? You don't have to hold it long. Just run it up and down. Even with this big part. You see that big part right there? Don't be rambunctious. Just cut it off. Because you're going to get a pretty decent edge. with your fire. See? Just cut it off and seal it. Cut it off and seal it. And yes, you're going to do this going around the entire flag, guys. The entire flag. See? Another big part. That's okay. 1 minute. All right. My husband came in. I didn't want to have a lot of background noise. But as you can see, you see how raggedy that is? Like I said, don't be rambunctious. Just cut it off. Because that's a lot to try to burn off. So just cut it off to meet the cut that you just burned. See? Come back up where you left off. Same thing. We're almost to the end. Isn't that neat? Look at that. Where you left off. I keep a lot of lighters too, because you have the flag. You just take that off like that. No problem. Cut it off. Boop. Boop. And then come back in. Glad I didn't run out of fire. Go down the edge. Down the edge. And that's if your flags spray on you when you're dancing too, in your flag bag or whatever. Always make sure you have a lighter, so that all you have to do is go back and seal those edges, so you don't have a bunch of frayed edges where it looks all funky, when you're flagging, when you're dancing. That's all. Make sure you do it where the kids don't see you. Again, safety first. Safety first. See, and we're at our end. So now we're going to come back in, and you're going to do the same thing and meet the end. Okay? And that's that. And then you just squeeze it on the end. All right? And now we have our swing flag. Now, I'm going to show you how to put on that feather, okay? As far as this is concerned, your tip, you do the same thing. And be careful with this. You can either use your scissors, but you got to be precise with your scissors. Make sure that the only part that you're cutting is that part that's sticking up, because sometimes you'll end up putting a hole in it. You don't want that. So this is what I do. I burn it off. I just burn it off just to uniform it, a little bit, because there's really not that much that you have to worry about. You just go down the line, just like that. Just go down the line. That's all you got to do. And yes, it gets hot. Uh-oh. We got an opening. We got an opening right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back. We're going to fix our opening. Just a little piece of the seam tape. Put it in there. Bring your material around. And seal it. Just seal it. And there you go. That took care of that. All right. Now, let's put our feather on. Oh, another opening on our tail. piece up in there. You have to have patience when you're doing this, because, you know, let's face it, what goes into making these is what you're charged for, because a lot of time and a lot of labor, you know, goes into it, especially when you're sewing. You know, I've got some that I've sewn, and I tell you, they're every bit of $65 as far as I'm concerned, you know. People's time and labor goes into it. A lot of love. Okay, now let's put our flag on, our feather on. Okay, with your leftover material, you're going to take just a small piece of it, just a small strip, enough to thread the eye of the feather. Remember in the other video I showed you that little eye on the feather? This feather is from the Blue Guinea. There's also, which is a peacock, the Blue Guinea. You have the brown one. For some reason they call it a peacock. But you're going to just do a thin strip, just enough to thread the eye of your feather, okay? Just enough to thread the eye of your feather. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to close our ends with the fire. See? Just a thin piece. And close our ends with the fire. See? Close our ends. And then we're going to thread our tip. See? Just thread our tip. See? Like that. See? And then we're going to come back. Oops. See that? And then we're just going to put it on the tip like that. And then we're going to come back over with our material. Okay? We're just going to rub it up against the iron. Like this. And then you come back with your glue gun to seal it with your glue gun. Okay? That's all. And you stick it. Oops. Hold on. Hold on. Make sure you don't burn your feather. Okay? All right. And then you're going to come back and you're going to seal it with your fire. Okay? That's a tip. Okay? With your fire. And then you have your feather on the end. And then I'm going to come back with glue, your hot glue gun. You're just going to put a little tip of glue on the end of it. But this is what it looks like. All right? And now, I'm going to show you what it looks like in full bloom. All right, guys. And this is what it looks like. This is your tail flag that we've made. You can see that. All right. Now let's see what it looks like. All right. Hmm? And then you'll have 2 of these. But you see? So we've made our tail flag. Jesus is Lord. Hmm? Tail flag. And as you can see, whoops, the plant don't have much room in here, but this is what it looks like. And if you've made this flag with me today, I'm going to make one more, but don't forget to seal your tip with your flag, for your feather with some glue, and that'll ensure you've made a swing flag, a tail flag today. I'm going to teach you how to make swing flags too. But this is a tail flag. I'm going to make another one. Guys, like our page, dig our website, refuge1.net, herbal teacup, refuge1 at windstream.net. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe. Look for our detox program. There are a lot of good things. Reach out to me. Refuge1.net, guys. I'm easy to find. Herbal Life on Facebook. Regina N. Sanford on Facebook. Happy worshiping. God bless you all. And if you made this flag today, I hope that you found it easy. If you found it difficult, hey, maybe you'll like some of the other videos that I have out there that are not so difficult. But as you can see the turnout, you see what goes into a flag. Just think if I had sewn it. This is an easy way. Make your flags, have your way, praise Jesus. Until next time, I bid you peace. Hit that like button. Bye.